Doctor Who. Peter Cushing. Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD. What did I think of Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD? Well, the title is kind of a mouthful. I was kind of at one point when I was rewatching a couple of the videos that I've been doing for this. I was thinking, oh no, I hope I said the right year. I hope I didn't say 2050 AD. I hope I correctly said 2150 AD. But so far, I think I said it right. Because if I'm saying it quickly, and I'm not even looking at the title on the DVD, I was thinking, well, maybe I misspoke. Maybe I said the wrong year, but I don't know. So far, I haven't noticed that. If I do notice that, I'll put a text correction up on the video. Okay, so yeah, the title of the video is kind of a mouthful. Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD. Oh my. The story was okay. It was interesting to see Peter Cushing's interpretation of the character. But it was weird that he called himself Doctor Who rather than just the Doctor. Since on the show, Doctor Who, he never calls himself Doctor Who on the show. He calls himself the Doctor on the show. But for some reason, in the movie, they decided to change that. In the Peter Cushing movies, both of them. So for Peter Cushing's character, he's Doctor Who, not the Doctor. He's apparently a human, a science professor, and not from Gallifrey, not a Time Lord. These alterations to the character are significant, I felt. If they wanted to change these aspects, they may as well have called him something completely different. But then, if he's not a Time Lord, he shouldn't have a TARDIS, in my opinion. After I had written these notes, I was thinking about it. This criticism, and thinking about the time that these movies were made, specifically this one. Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD. So that was made in 1966. Okay. And so Patrick Troughton's time as the Doctor was from 1966 to 1969. So at the time in the show, if you want to compare it to the show, I'm not sure if we want to compare it to, so if you want to compare Peter Cushing's Doctor Who character to Patrick Troughton's The Doctor on the show, Doctor Who, if you want to compare those two, okay, I'm not sure because I haven't seen every episode of the Patrick Troughton era or the William Hartnell era. I haven't seen all of them. A lot of them are missing, especially the. Well, yeah, I guess both the Patrick. There's some of the Patrick Troughton episodes and some of the William Hartnell episodes they're missing. They erased them after they made them. They didn't feel they were going to be wanted later, apparently, or they needed the tapes to. They had to record over the tapes. They're expensive. So I haven't seen all of them. So I'm just going by what I know of. In the show at the time when they made the Doctor Who movies. So I don't know if we knew at that time. Well, if they knew at that time, the audience, that the Doctor is a Time Lord. I think I don't have the story, but I think I watched it a long time ago. Yeah, I watched it a long time ago. I don't have it, but War Games. Pretty sure it's called War Games. The last Patrick Troughton. Well, during the end of his he appeared later. Patrick Troughton appeared later in the Five Doctors and the Two Doctors, but during Patrick Troughton's original run, at the end of Patrick Troughton's original run in Doctor Who, Patrick Troughton, we know at that time that the Doctor is a Time Lord because he's being judged by the Time Lords, and that's when he's being forced to regenerate into John Pertwee's character, Doctor. So the audience, because I was thinking, wasn't the audience just annoyed by this? They were probably. Maybe they were like thinking, he's not called Doctor Who, he's called the Doctor. So the audience might have been thinking that at the time that they watched the Peter Cushing movies. But they probably didn't even know what a Time Lord was at the time, because I don't think that the audience knew that the Doctor was a Time Lord. Like that was his title. But yeah, for sure by 1969, the audience should know that. But the Peter Cushing, this Peter Cushing movie didn't come out till 1960s. It came out in 1966, so that was 3 years before the audience knew for sure that the Doctor is a Time Lord. And then the other thing was Gallifrey. Yeah, Gallifrey. So after I'm watching, I'm still working on the. Oh no, I finished it. I'm gonna go get it right now. Okay, so I just finished this recently. So this is, I believe, this is the first appearance of the Sontarans. Well, this is they just have one Sontaran in here. So this is the Doctor Who story, the Time Warrior, with John Pertwee as the Doctor. This was his last season. With also the first story with Elizabeth Sladen, who played Sarah Jane Smith. Yeah, Elizabeth Sladen. Okay, so in this one, so I just recently watched this. In this one, this is the first one, the first Doctor Who story, where we find out that, well, we find that we hear that the name of the Doctor's planet is Gallifrey. So before that, we didn't know where exactly he was from, the Doctor. And that was this was made in between 1973 and 1974. So it was definitely later, much later than the Peter Cushing movies. So they couldn't have said that in there that he was from Gallifrey, because they didn't. Bob Holmes? Robert Holmes? Yeah, Robert Holmes, the writer. He came up with that, the name. So when the Peter Cushing movies were made, we didn't know he was. We probably didn't know he was a Time Lord, and we didn't know he's from the character of the Doctor. We didn't know he was a Time Lord. We didn't know the name of his planet was Gallifrey. But from the very beginning of the show of Doctor Who, with William Hartnell's character, we knew that the Doctor was not from Earth. That he was from him, the Doctor, and his granddaughter. They are. We hear that they are from a faraway planet. So we know they're not from Earth. Okay. So the point I was trying to get at was, oh, okay. I feel like in the Doctor Who movies, so they're telling us that this science professor, this human science professor, invented a time machine which can also travel in space, outer space, and he's also figured out how to manipulate dimensions by having the TARDIS, which is time and relative dimension in space. By it looks small on the outside, but when you go inside the what looks like a police call box, when you go inside this call box, it's this huge spaceship and time machine. So we are supposed to believe, the audience is supposed to believe, that this human science professor in the 60s invented the TARDIS. He invented it. Okay. I think it is more believable what they portray in the show Doctor Who rather than in the movies with Peter Cushing, it's more believable that someone who would be in possession of the TARDIS would be someone who's an alien, who has a superior intelligence, or at least from a culture that is much more advanced than our culture, especially back in the 1960s. So it's more believable what they portray the character of the Doctor on Doctor Who. That's more believable than what they portray as the character of Doctor Who in the Peter Cushing movies. So that's my little criticism there for that. To get around that, they could have said in the story, they could have in the Doctor Who movies with Peter Cushing, they could have said that Doctor Who discovered it somewhere, or someone else gave it to him, the TARDIS. I would have made it a little mysterious. So I felt that they changed in the Peter Cushing movies of Doctor Who. I felt that they changed it too much from the Doctor Who series. I'm going to stop right there.